Hello everybody and welcome back to another update on Evil Dead the game. Today is a bit of a big one. We got a gameplay video on both the Kandarian Demon and the Survivor, and both look pretty fun. So let's go ahead and hurry and break down the mechanics on both sides. So the first thing that I want to bring up before we're going straight into the new stuff we learned, I keep seeing it quite frequently. A lot of people are asking, will the game have single player and all that stuff? Will it have a campaign? It will not have a full-on single player campaign, but there are missions recreating certain movie scenes. Think of it kind of like the Friday the 13th missions. I imagine they'll be longer though, but they recreate those certain events. So like in Evil Dead 2, you like freaking cut off your hand and put on a chainsaw, or, you know, something like that. We have also seen that there will actually be bot matches as well. So if you can absolutely play this game offline, whether you're an introvert or you don't have a very good connection to play online, or you just don't really feel like trying quite as hard. Anyways, on to the actual gameplay that we have been shown. So we now know for a fact that there are 3 phases to the game. Collecting the map to locate the Book of the Dead, and then we find the Book of the Dead with that map, and then we can summon the Dark Ones for a final boss battle, and that is the 3rd phase, and that is what we do. The game looks really pretty. I know we've mentioned that before, but man, this is definitely a later build. And you can like see the blood effects, your character gets splattered in it. Man, it looks good, man. It looks so good. The finishers are brutal at the end of the Kandarian Demon gameplay. I highly recommend checking it out. You see a ton of finishers that they've added. There is a jump scare mechanic. That is right. If you're not a fan of jump scares, this game will have them. The Kandarian Demon can just, like, he has an ability to use a jump scare, and it just gives you, like, a little PNG, and it goes, rah! And basically, it builds up a little bit of your fear meter, and it, like, distracts them a little bit. If you know that they're very afraid of jump scares, you could do that as the Kandarian Demon. That's something. And then, of course, there's the fear mechanic that they've mentioned. I don't believe they went over specifically as to what it does, but I believe that if you have a certain amount of fear that you can be possessed easier and stuff like that, you're more prone to, like, make mistakes or something like that, I would imagine. Survivors can split up. The developers put emphasis that you can split up in this game and you can go far. They mentioned that the maps are huge. So if you just want to go, like, if you're just like, I hate my team, I want us all to die. You can go to freaking other side of the country. You can go to Europe and they're still in like North America and you're like, goodbye. You can just yeet yourself. Not really like that distance, but you get the drift. You can go super far if you just want to not play with them, I guess. They mentioned that it's like a battle royale in the way that at the start of the match, you have to find your equipment and all that stuff. Like, there are different rarities, like there's like a legendary chainsaw or like a basic chainsaw or anything like that. Of course, the rest of the game doesn't go down that way. It doesn't play like a battle royale, of course, just that initial finding equipment and stuff like that. And they confirmed that after dealing with a horde of enemies, the survivors are given a breather, so the Kandarian Demon cannot do anything, or probably anything to a huge amount of significance after certain hordes of enemies that attack you. So that's kind of interesting. That's nice. I imagine that's a huge detriment to the Kandarian Demon if your big old horde attack doesn't work and you can't do anything for a while. So you have to be very strategic with that, I imagine. Now, talking about the killers, we finally get to see like a big portion. We didn't see a few of these things in the little bit of gameplay that they showed us before. At the start of the match, you don't know where the survivors are. You're not just like roaming around aimlessly, because you have these little red orbs across like the entire map that you can gather. And they said like this is like a Kandarian Demon currency, so you can use these orbs to cash in on different effects, like to possess survivors, to control a boss character like Evil Ash or the Eligos, or the Dark Ones. They confirmed you can play as the Dark Ones, and when you possess like a smaller Deadite, a car, or whatever the case is, you get all of their abilities. If you possess a boss character, you get all of the boss character's abilities. If you possess a survivor, you get all of their abilities. And talking about the survivor abilities, they mentioned that there are different builds that you can do with the survivor, so you can experiment. You can do that sort of stuff, which is exciting. There is a level up system outside of matches and inside of matches. A very interesting for the demon and the survivor. You level up mid-match. I find that to be very interesting, very, very different. But if you just want to be like, oh, we're going up against an Elagos, you need more stamina against an Elagos, you can just level up your stamina. That's kind of really cool. That's really cool. And as the Kandarian Demon, you can upgrade different things too. We see the skill tree at one point for a little bit. I'll have it on screen here so you can see exactly what you can upgrade. The developers also mention that the Demon role is the harder role between the two of them, which is not really a surprise usually in asymmetrical horror games, or just asymmetrical games in that matter. The power role always has more to work with because they're the power role. So they have more tools, they have to micromanage all of these survivors. You got 4 survivors on this huge map, and you have to collect all these orbs and stuff. I bet it will be difficult, but you know, if mastered, would feel really rewarding. I personally, this is probably the first game that I'm probably actually going to play as a survivor, just because it looks like a ton of fun, and I'm a very big fan of the Evil Dead protagonists. Now, in conclusion, with all that, that is basically all of the new information that we have from the videos. If you want to see the actual gameplay themselves, I know I've had it like playing the background, but if you want to see all the gameplay in its entirety, I highly recommend you do. I will have links to the gameplays in the description. Thank you all so much for watching. I cannot wait for this game. When it comes out, we're going to be playing it a ton. So if you are interested, feel free to subscribe. We will be covering head to toe everything, single player, multiplayer, the different characters. We're going to be going through it all, baby. Thank you again for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.